All right. Good evening, you guys. I am so excited to get this started. Our team huddle Tuesday. I like getting together and I like planning some things out, getting some work done, and just fueling up our souls for the week ahead. And just know that no matter where we are not alone and we are in this together. And there is other people on your level, and there's people that are higher and belower who are rooting for the same goals that we have. So with further ado, I think we should kick it off with just doing some quick birthday messages. I know I haven't done that in a minute, and I know I have at least 3 or 4 that have popped up lately that have said, oh, thanks for the birthdays. And I'm like, oh boy. So let's do birthdays for 10. Let's do it for 5 minutes, 5 minutes. All right, let's finish the last one up. If there is more, we can always jump back later, finish it up again while we are getting ready for bed.
It's just showing it, now it isn't.
All right, let's jump over to our stories really quick. And we are going to post about samples. Let's, I know we normally have tons of saved ones. Let's switch it up. Go to Pinterest. And let's type in just a regular or any fun coffee picture that's just different from what you normally post from an It Works one. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Search, come on.
Yeah, and we can like take some time and make our own.
Yeah.
I find rather funny when it says, I don't drink coffee to wake up. I wake up to drink coffee. I may have to decide to take some of these ones that I'm finding and make a folder to put into the team page so that you have some to work with. Because I found one that says at this point, I don't know if coffee is a hobby or a survival instinct.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. Thank you, Chad.
Not a problem.
I'm having to remind myself just to pick one and not get lost in pretty things on Pinterest.
Yeah, because it sounds like you'd be a nightmare before coffee anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I found one.
Sorry, I was just reading that one from what I found here in the list of stuff.
I'm not entirely sure what that was. Splitter, maybe? No, I thought slider. It's my fault. Location not great.
All right, I'm adding a few facts to this coffee one. And then I am making a call to action for sample packs. I also added a question into it. Are you one that drinks coffee daily? Is just the one that I put in there. We are adding coffee slides to our stories for samples. So we went to Pinterest, or if you have just like a regular cute coffee picture, go find that and then put in a question and then a call to action for samples on there with a little bit of facts. And then like Chad said, don't forget to save the pictures and then add it into an album so that you have it all organized.
There's one that asks, where is the app that brings me coffee? I think we have one of those.
I got mine made, so now I'm just going to add a poll to it.
Perfect. I'm gonna add one more slide with 2 results and then I'm done. Woohoo!
Ooh, a results one. I need that.
And then I got this one off of Pinterest that I put in my album that I use a lot. But hey, still gets people. Woohoo! Hey, Becky. And then with the results, you can add, another call to action as well with a poll or a question. All right, let's jump over now and do our story. Let's either write up another version or grab one that you have shared or saved before and then do a picture with that and an IDS.
Becky, to kind of answer your
Hello.
question, whatever you prefer to do, if it's just the coffee or if they had other products too.
Yep, either one. Either one works, Becky. Hi. Oh my god, my kid is like torturing me over here with this drone toy. It's been so much fun, but We are working on putting up our stories right now, and then we did just add some coffee sample slides to the story, and then a result as well. So if you haven't done that today, those are the things that we've done so far.
And I'm sitting over here getting a post up ready for what the last task that Amanda just had us on. And if you're in a place where you need ideas or templates or things to like inspire you to write your own content, there is a resource in the Glowing and Growing board for posting. It's titled All Posting, and there's a folder in there for opportunity and business post. And I don't suggest using it in the keyboards like in Facebook, but opening it up and using it in the app and then taking that over into your notes section on your phone so you can change things up to where it'll fit you. But there's so many different options in there that have been found from other leaders and things that are just great at like showing how to lay different things out or different ways to talk about things, objections that are common. So if you want to use that, that resource is available to you too. Becky, I'm kind of a little bit confused on what you're asking. Let me try to read it again. Was if I'm focusing on coffee samples, is it okay to use one that the person has used other products as well? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. And I mean, in reality, our products pair so well together. And most of the time, people are using more than just one product. Hey, Becky, no question is a silly question. I'm an overthinker myself, and sometimes it just helps us overthinkers to just get that weird stuff out of our body and just be like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, confirmation, please. I get it 100%.
Then it also kind of helps if somebody else has a question about other products they can use with it, then you can show them right there that they had that and 2 or 3 other products able to work with.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing for us to talk about too, like upselling. So I remember we were on a Zoom with, I think, Marisa hosted it with Kim Kane. She was talking about how she upsells, and she'll take one product and like close that one product down. But then as soon as they're ready to order, it's like letting them know, hey, for the best results possible, adding this, this, and this is really going to give you exactly what you're wanting to see, and explaining how great it is. And if you're already sharing a before and after that's got all that stuff in there, it's just going to make it that much easier for you, more evidence for them to say yes. So I think that's a great idea, Becky. Thank you for asking that. And thank you for mentioning that, Chad.
Put a 2 in the chat when we are done, and then we'll move on.
So while we're sitting here closing this task up, I want to talk about something that's really been helpful for me. And we're going into the next quarter of the year almost. I mean, it's April, and not only, I mean, our boom season is not slowing down whatsoever, but we are going into the next quarter of the year. And these are the moments where I like to evaluate where I can grow, where I can pivot. Y'all know that I'm like obsessed with growth. It's fires me up, but also it's those moments too that are hard about like giving yourself a checkup and really like doing some internal work and seeing what are some things that I need to overcome. What are some limiting beliefs that I'm holding still at this level? Where is it I said I wanted to go when we had conference? And what does that look like for me right now? Not changing where I'm going, but where can I pivot and change in me to continue on that trajectory, right? And I downloaded a free resource from somebody about like manifesting your goals and dreaming, and some of those like I've been taking each day and going through those questions. So I encourage you, dive into something that's going to enrich you. Like no one else is going to put you a priority like you can. And I find when we don't, like I talked about this in my stories today, but when we don't throw ourselves all in for ourselves, two things happen. One, we're playing it safe so that we can like keep ourselves safe from disappointment almost, because that growing is hard, right? Stretching outside of our current realms of comfort and our current stretches of what we think we're capable of, it is hard to grow past that. And when we don't go all in for it, then we don't have to like hold ourselves accountable if we don't reach that next level of growth, right? But also it's continuing to breed disappointment when we're not where we want to be. Right. And there's nothing that breeds discouragement, disappointment, and disbelief within yourself besides, like, there's nothing more powerful than backing out of the habits, the commitments, and the routines that you promised yourself you would do. So the conversation I was having with a fabulous girl that I was doing a one-on-one with was, we have limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves that we don't have enough time, we're not smart enough, or we don't have enough confidence, or we don't know enough, or we're not skilled enough, like we got to learn more before we can do more. And all of these limiting beliefs that we'll tell ourselves, you will prove those to be true until you go all the heck in for whatever that entails for you. But I totally get that it can be so comforting to pull yourself back from that stretch because you don't want to disappoint yourself. But in reality, you're still going to disappoint yourself. And that's something that me and, I was talking about with her. And going back to that self-work, I'm taking each day to dive into these questions because I know there's areas where I want to stretch myself and grow. And just a couple of those questions that she listed off, and these were a monthly thing, but I want to look at this growth as a quarterly thing, because I don't know about you guys. You can drop me a 3 in the chat if you like had this, like, this is normal, by the way, this is human nature. So 3, if you're a human like me, that you had this huge run from conference, your vision was on point, you knew where you were going, and it's like the wheels were in motion, they were staying in motion, and the fuel was just on point. And now we're at a place where it's like that evaluation and almost reigniting your own fire within yourself is appropriate. This is the time of the year where if you're not where you want it to be yet, you can almost question, like, can I do it? Right. And really, it's just evaluating, pivoting, maybe upping what you need to do in versus what you had expected for yourself, but also just recognizing, like, we're humans. We have areas that we need to grow in. We all fall short in some areas too, and there's nothing to like give yourself crap over, but those pivotal moments. So right now in this season, I'm a sticky note person. I know y'all seen my wall that sits in front of me that has sticky notes and little words all over it, but I filled it at conference. I know I'm rambling, but I'm getting places with this. I filled it at conference with all these little notes of things that were pushing me in that season, pushing me in the first quarter, inspiring me, right? And then I started to look at this wall this last week, and I'm like, man, it's just not doing it for me anymore. And like, how many times you notice, like, okay, well, this method of strategy isn't really doing it for me anymore. This self-development that I've been plugging myself into almost seems mundane. And I know for me, I have to change up and reevaluate and realign myself quarterly, 90 days, because I will flow off that vision. And I think that's just human nature. So you needed someone to ramble to you. Love it. Okay. So full circle moment. I and walking around with a pad of sticky notes so that when I hear something that makes me like fired up, I needed that. Like I can write that on that sticky note and I can repurpose my affirmations for myself to keep myself fueled. Because again, there's no one who's going to push you like you. There's no one who's going to put yourself in your comfort zone like you. There's no one who's going to fall short on yourself like you. And there's also no one who's going to push you to level up like yourself. So the questions that were on here were like, what are your top 3 desires for the month? And I pivoted that to quarter, because again, I'm not looking at just a month, I'm evaluating my next quarter ahead. And so I encourage you, write down what are your top 3 goals. And she said it like, if you could wave a magic wand, what are your top 3 goals that you would want and desires for yourself? And you know, for me, what that looks like, just to be super vulnerable and transparent, for me, that looks like having a triple diamond organization within my team, right? For me, that looks like sponsoring 60 soulmate team members. For me, that looks like being consistent with my workouts, my journals, my routines, and losing 20 pounds. So now, and then the question that it goes into next is, what are you doing that you feel like is holding you back? What are the limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself as to why like you couldn't have those things? And I took a full like day to really get honest with myself about what I was believing about me and the attachments to these goals. And the reason why it's good to get it on paper is it like gets it out of your system. You guys, we all go through weird things. And if you're not willing to work through them, you're going to feel like you're on an island all by your dang self, and no one's going to come save you and do the hard work for you. But it's worth it to do it yourself, especially when you're in business for yourself. Especially, I don't care if you're striving for $200 a month or 20,000. The self-work is important. And the next question was, what are the things that you have to believe to attain these goals? What are the things that you need to believe about yourself to have these desires come in? And, you know, the more that I'm not finished with this workbook yet, but the more that I finish it, I'll share with you guys. But it's just aligning me to be honest with myself and to be the like one to talk myself into doing things and to believe in myself wholeheartedly. And something that's been really helpful for me as far as evaluating my goals and pushing past that level of belief and that imposter syndrome that can come up, that's like, oh, but like you aren't a person who's capable of those. Like, you know, the person in your back of your head that like talks you out of those things, that is your ego. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, look at it from a comforting place. That's still you, right? But you can be like nurturing with it and say, hey, I hear you. You know, I know that this is the way myself feels, but I'm going to go choose to show it something else. And what I would encourage you to do around those 3 things that you put on your desires list, write down why that's going to happen for you. Like, what things are you going to do? What evidence are you going to show yourself that is necessary for you to have? And like, how are you intentionally going to align yourself with that? So for example, let's say one of my goals is to enroll 60 soulmate just team members to my team in the next quarter. Why is that desire going to happen for me? Because I'm purposefully being more outspoken and vibrant about how this business has helped me, because I am intentionally talking to new people each day about the business. Those people are going to find me because I'm intentionally showing up in ways and developing my mindset and developing the way that I lead people. Those people are going to come into my path because, you know, and it's like how I want to lose 20 pounds. Why do I believe I'm going to lose 20 pounds? Because I'm aligning myself with working out. I'm hydrating my body. I'm putting good food in. So what that's doing to your brain. So your brain literally will find evidence of what you believe. It's like the effect, and I know I'm rambling here, so if you guys are okay, if you're okay with me, it's like, you ever see the things where it's like shows the Coca-Cola logo or like the Berenstein Bears, where you totally thought you saw it a different way, but or like you get a car and before you know it, you see everybody driving the same car. You do your hairstyle a certain way, you see everybody else having their hair a certain way. It's not that it wasn't there before, but your brain's trying to confirm for you and pull in evidence of all the things that you see in your life, that the things that you're doing is like, you believe it, it's adequate, it's supporting those thoughts. Very similar to the negative side of that. If you believe that nobody wants the business, nobody wants the products, then your brain is going to seek out evidence by what you see and what you hear of that being a proven fact for you. So what this activity, and it's more than just I am diamond, I am successful, I am a mass enroller. It's then taking those I ams and then adding that evidence with it, so that your brain does not know what to do besides confirm that evidence for you. And you will start to see your day shift. So I encourage you in the mornings, take a very brief time to journal. All of this work that we do to grow our businesses on social media, is it effective work? Absolutely. But if your mindset is not in a place of belief that you can attain even just the next customer or that next team member, your brain is going to align you with words and vision that's going to conclude everything that you believe. It will. So I want to encourage you that in the mornings, before you pick up your phone, take 10 minutes and a piece of paper. Jot 3 things down that you are thankful for and why you're thankful for them. Give each of those full things that full gratitude. I am so thankful that I woke up to a hot cup of coffee this morning, because coffee makes me feel amazing, and I love having the special cup to myself. I am so thankful that I have fuzzy socks on that warm my feet, because when I have these warm socks on, I don't feel frantic and cold, and it makes me feel comforted. I am super thankful to have a day to go into doing my work so I can talk to the dream people that are supposed to be a part of my business. Like, you can really lay out your gratitude in a huge way. That's going to allow you to see more things to be grateful for in the rest of your day. So 3 things of gratitude. Then I want you to list out 3 goals and desires for your quarter. 3 goals and desires for your quarter, but then list them with that evidence. My goal and desire is to be a triple diamond team and organization and have an average income of $10,000 a month. And I believe this to be true for myself, because I'm aligning myself with self-development. And I know this desire is going to happen because I'm talking to people each day. And by talking to people each day, I'm going to be aligned with the dream people who are meant to be a part of my business. And because I'm showing up for that goal, it's going to happen for me. My success is inevitable. You see how it's more than just I'm a triple diamond? It's like you're aligning your thought patterns, right? And then I want you to list out 3 ways that you are going to take action today to align yourself with those desires. So 3, 3, and 3. Very simple, but very, very effective. And I will close with this. If you are like me, someone who deals with anxiety, that you're growing through, you're learning different thought patterns for yourself, so it's not something that comes up for you more often, okay? If you wake up in the morning, now, like I said, don't go grab your phone. Literally wake up and go straight to your journal or your coffee. Like, if you need to make a video of you doing your coffee, save it and wait to post it till you're finished. If you film your coffee, okay? But if you wake up and you feel weird, you feel anxious, you feel rushed, you feel already out of sorts for the day, because it happens to me, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it. Take like a different piece of paper and write out what you're feeling until you find yourself making a resolve with those feelings. And you'll start writing out while you're feeling what's making you feel limited, what's making you feel anxious, what's making you feel heavy, and get it all out of your system and allow yourself to work through that. Don't carry it into the rest of your day. It's wanting to take up space. That's why you're feeling it. So the best thing that you can do is give it the space, let it take it up, let it out, talk about it with yourself, because I like to believe that God gives us these feelings so that we can be prompted to grow through something in ourselves. And if you're waking up like, okay, the best way that I can give you an example of this is to show you, are y'all enjoying what I'm saying? Like, is this flowing for you? Is this driving for you? You think I'm a crazy person? Either way, it's fine. Let me see. Is this one of my old journals? It's one of my old journals, but okay, so for example, I would, like, if I woke up in the morning, I was feeling super funky, I would write, I'm feeling weird today. I have this anticipation feeling that I'm missing something. I feel behind already. Maybe I feel this way because I didn't go to bed as good as I wanted to. I didn't, maybe I was a little bit off my routine, and then I can like come back full circle for myself and say, but even though I'm feeling this way, that's not going to stop me from having a weird day. These are normal human emotions, and I am okay. So I'm going to choose to let anxiety stay here. I'm going to choose to let the feelings of worry, if I'm enough, if I can handle it, stay here and not overtake me. And then you can really talk through those things with yourself. Talk through them with yourself so that because here's the thing, you woke up thinking about it, it ain't gonna leave you until you resolve it with yourself. And it's not about finding a solution, I don't think, but it's about giving it space and getting it out so that you can go into your journal prompting, your gratitude, your desires, your vision, really in a clear space, and you feel lighter and you can go in and flow, make yourself like have that good energy that you need. And then when you start your work day and go into your task, maybe that's going to your job, you're going to feel like you've already taken care of yourself for the day. You've already taken care of your mind for the day. You've had that special time for you. I really do believe that makes a big, big difference, because then you're going to go into your conversations already knowing that you're aligning yourself for what you want to do, right? You're going to go into your post already inspired by your own dang self. Okay. So yeah, real quick, can you go over the three things? Yes. So 3 things of gratitude. I am grateful for blank because of blank. This helps me blank. Another one, I'm like 3 of those. The next one is 3 desires for this quarter. Like if you could wave a magic wand and have exactly 3 things that you wanted and desired in the next 90 days, what are those 3 things? And then write out why those things are going to happen for you. Like what is the evidence supporting that belief? Those affirmations, but extend them more than just, I am losing 30 pounds. I am a diamond leader. Like, why are you losing 30 pounds? Because it's going to make me feel amazing. I'm going to be better person. I'm going to have more stamina. I'm going to have better energy. I'm going to be more confident. Like, affirm those things in detail for yourself. And then 3 things you're going to do today to align yourself with those 90-day desires. And what's going to be crazy is you're going to look back in 90 days from taking 10 minutes for yourself. And if it takes you more than 10 minutes, I believe that self-work is always worth the time. You're going to look back and see the transformation about the way you talk about things, the way you worked through things. You'll see, like, and trust me, it's the days where you don't do your journal where you're like, dang it, man. I wish I would have done my journal today. So think about it as it's putting tools in your tool belt that you don't even need yet. But you're going to come into something later in the day and it's going to be like, dang, I'm really grateful I did my journaling this morning because it's prompting me to think of something, be inspired in a certain way, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So does anybody have anything they want to share? Pop in, comments, questions?
I love, okay, so we all know the baseline of my journey and my story, and the belief truly did come from journaling every single day. Like I did not have the belief system in myself that diamond was even possible, or even emerald or ruby, right? Like you just get in a funk where you're like, yeah, cool for other people. But you guys, journaling, like there's something to that for real. So definitely take the time out of your day to pour into yourself. And like Madeline said, if there is something that you're doing right now and you're not vibing with it, change it up, pivot. That's my word for this year is pivot. And I know like last year I went all in 24/7 and then I got really burnt out to where like you drop down off the roller coaster, right? So this year I want to implement what worked, but doing it different than I did last year. So we all hit pivotal seasons and we all need to learn and grow in different areas on a day-to-day basis, right? So I am going to pop in a message, copy it, save it to your notes. It is a good one about gummies and it's been getting some good feedback. So that is there. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I just wanted to jump in and agree with her on self-development and journaling. Journaling really can change absolutely everything with the day-to-day confidence, with just getting the day-to-day tasks of life and business done at the same time without feeling super overwhelmed, like you can't accomplish it, like the whole world is just not aligning the way you want it to. But journaling just lets you know, hey, guess what? It's okay because life isn't aligned for every single person in this world at every single given time anyway. So we just have to enjoy the ride, as crazy as it is. crazy as it is. Is there anything else or any other questions that you guys have or want to touch base on before we end our Tuesday huddle? Or Madeline, was there anything else that you wanted to share?
While you're doing this, I'll share this before we close it out. It is a vulnerable thing to do the work within yourself that it requires for you to grow. It's not an easy choice, but it's the best choice that you can make for yourself. And saying that as you go on this next quarter and you plug into you and you really do what you need for you, share that process, because it's going to inspire other people to go along their own journeys too, to see how important like self-growth is. And I just don't think that we talk about that enough. I don't think we talk about enough, like in business, how much that self work matters. And I promise you, the things that you're growing through right now, when you find ways to grow through them, you feel empowered. And it's you that goes and shares that out with someone else so that they can have that same gift too. And we always talk about branding and how you can brand and be yourself and be authentic. There's nothing more authentic than talking about the ways that you're overcoming and giving that gift to someone else. And that's also going to show the people who are watching you that they can count on you to with someone who's a leader and someone who has vision. So don't shy away from sharing that. We're all human. We all go through crap, and it's also going to make you more relatable to the people that you're working with.
So I did get Sadie Robinson's one of her latest books, and it's really good. You know, like I said, self-development. I was really into podcast, and before I was never really a book reader, and I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So the few highlights that are in these 2 pages are focus on what's real. Madeline just touched on that. And then there is so much freedom to living in the moment, being true to your authentic self in the moment, sharing you. And then surround yourself with good people, expect a good day, and giggle at the pure joy of being alive. Like, that's literally all we can do every single day. So I'm going to end it at that. I think that was very fun, and I got a lot of good work done. Thank you guys so much for hopping on with us every week. It just shows that you have goals and that you are willing to do the work to go to that next level. So appreciate it. Pat yourselves on the back for tuning in and getting some work done. All right. Happy Tuesday, guys. Have a good night.